What's going on, everybody? Bobster1984 here again to do another video about my driving test, which is my third attempt, and it's a third failure, as you'll see in the title. Now, this is the third time obviously I'm doing this driving test, and I decided at this time I was going to use my own car. I don't take any driving lessons anymore. I believe that I can drive to a standard where I'm not actually going to learn anything from a driving lesson, and I don't see the point in paying £40 for a driving lesson. Now, my instructor after the second fail actually suggested, he said, why don't you just use your own car? It would save you paying the £40 for me, as well as the £62 that they charge for the pleasure of failing you. So on the 1st of November I decided that I was going to do the driving test as quickly as I possibly could, and I got it for the 1st of November. So, you know, me and you have to take somebody who drives, so obviously I went with my girlfriend. My girlfriend obviously sat in the waiting room with me. We went for a practice beforehand, we got all the manoeuvres sorted, everything was fine, and then for whatever reason I just got so nervous, more nervous probably than I did for the first test, and I've got no idea why. Now, I've never been one who's been great at tests, one that's been great at exams. I always seem to get nervous for them. But I don't understand why I got more nervous for the third test than I did for the first. I've got absolutely no idea, I can't explain it. Now, when the examiners came out, there was 4 of us waiting there, and all 4 examiners came out, you know, for the 4 people that were there. My name was called, and I got this guy who I'd never had the previous 2 times. And I thought to myself, you know, this time I'm going to try and calm myself down. I got myself into the car, we did the show and tell questions. For the 3rd time running, I still haven't been asked to open the bonnet. Now, I don't know why, whether it's just the test centre, but the 2 questions I've had every single time have been, show me the windscreen wipers, blah blah blah. The guy even asked me, show me how the horn works. And I've always thought that would never be asked because it's too easy. I know it's one of the show and tell questions, but you know, it's too easy. Anyway, yeah, I got asked that one. So we get to obviously you know, all the introductions over and done with, and then he says, right, when you get out to the test centre, I want you to go right, exactly the same as the first 2 times. And bear in mind, if you've seen my second video, I failed within the first 5 minutes. So this time I was overly cautious, and I got a minor for being overly cautious at the roundabout, but it didn't fail like I failed last time. So we gets onto the A1 South, and we're going towards the Newcastle city centre. Now, this is definitely a different route to the first 2 times, and when we get to the city centre, we get to the turn off, and we get to this residential area that I have never been to in my life. So we're driving around there, and we get to the point where he says, I want you to do the manoeuvre. The manoeuvre he selected for me was a parallel park. Now, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, me and my girlfriend went in the car, and we were doing a lot of practices on the manoeuvres. All the manoeuvres went swimmingly beforehand, but for some reason I nearly cocked it up, and you know, the car wasn't in the position that it should have been. I had to move forward, readjust, and go back, and it gave me a minor for it. Now, I was always under the impression that if you have to readjust yourself, as long as it's safe and you're not touching the curb or whatever, as long as you don't touch that curb and you feel like you're going to have to readjust yourself, that's fine. You won't get a minor for it. But yeah, I got one. So we start obviously the journey going back to the test centre now. At the minute, the test centre has got massive roadworks out of it, which means that there's always a queue on this road. So you've guaranteed that the last 10 minutes of your driving test are going to be in this queue. So as long as you can get half an hour's worth of good driving done, you should really pass, other than idiot here. So after the manoeuvre, we are driving down a road which, to be honest, it was like a normal road. You know, it had signposts for each turn off, because it was residential, and each turn off, and it had 20 mile an hour next to each turn off, but it didn't have 20 mile an hour on the road that I was on. Now, I was always told that roads such as that, you know, where they're something to do with the lampposts and things like that, it's going to be generally 30 mile an hour if it doesn't tell you. So I was doing 20, I was in second gear, and I thought to myself, the cars ahead are going a bit too fast, and they're getting ahead, so it must be a 30 road. So I put myself into third, it gets up to about 24, 25 miles an hour, and the examiner says, this is a 20 zone, this, mate. And I was like, alright, sorry, I didn't realise, I didn't see a sign, to which he didn't say anything. So I thought to myself, I haven't failed for that surely. I mean, I know you can fail for the speeding, but my speed's been spot on all the way through, you know. I thought, he's had to tell us though. No, we'll continue, you know, obviously don't let it get to you. So we get to the test centre and he tells me I failed, and it was because of that. And I said to him, I says, well, I didn't see a sign. And he says, oh yeah, it was there, you failed. Proceeded to get out of the car and he fucked off. I was like, well, a little bit of help maybe, you know what I mean, give me some sort of guidance, where was the sign? But no, he was obviously not feeling it that day. I tried to have a bit of crack, you know, as I said earlier, I was nervous. I did try and have a bit of crack with him, and he was just not having any of it. So yeah, 3 tests, 3 fails. Now I've got my 4th test tomorrow. Managed to get a cancellation, so I've only had to wait 2 weeks. So I will do another video based on how well that goes. I'm hoping to God that I've got a certificate, because I'm sick to death of paying this £62. But I don't feel like I'm a 4 driving test needed driver. I've just been unlucky. So yeah, if you watch this video and it's taken you 4 times to pass your test, you know, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you failed on. Is it similar to me? Is it just unlucky? Or are you just nervous the same as me? I'm trying my best to not be nervous for tomorrow. I'll let you know how it goes, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.